Just like that, Nerdly Out Loud is back. My name is Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for all the news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. I promise you, I'm going to try so hard. I'm going to try so hard not to break down while talking about this movie. I could not wait to jump in the booth and talk about it. It was a little bit of therapy kind of watching this. I wasn't expecting this movie to be as great as it was, the performances to be as solid as they were. Perfect movie? Not quite. However, we're very close. This could potentially be and I feel like I say this quite a few times throughout the year, as we all do, legitimately be my low budget gem of the year. My must-see kind of probably flew under the radar movie of the year. I feel like it's going to be up there at least, if not number one up there. We're going to be talking about Black Dog, a fantastic coming-of-age movie, basically a two-hander with two young lads. So let's get into this movie, Black Dog. I feel like you all know the script by now, but if you are new, then I am going to explain it just one more time. And that is that I like to talk about the plot of the movie with as few spoilers as humanly possible. We may tap dance around a couple for this one. Then I will talk about the cast and the crew of this movie, which I have got nothing but great things to say, but we'll get there. I like to talk about what I did and didn't like about this movie, which is a little bit of a mixed bag at times. And then I'll jump into my final Nerdly Out Loud rating, which is my rating, Kevin Halden's Nerdly Out Loud rating, not the rating of Nerdly as a whole. If you go over to the website, another one of our reviewers may have reviewed this movie, see what they think, but most of all, watch the movie yourself, form your own opinion, and then come back and tell me what you thought in the comments below. That's where the conversation keeps on going. So yeah, let me know if you think I'm full of crap, let me know if you think I'm absolutely spot on, or just let me know, what you're having for tea. Drop it in the comments below and it will be highly appreciated. So as mentioned at the top, this is a kind of coming-of-age story about Nathan and Sam. Nathan is this young lad who's sort of living in London. He's living in sort of what seems to be kind of a foster home, hostel-style thing. There's all these different kids living there, and he's decided that, you know what, I've had enough. I'm going to run away. I want to go and meet my sister. I want to go and see her up in Scotland. And he's got all these different issues and everything like that, but we're going to deal with them as we go. First of all, he does stop a young black lad from being beaten up, realizes who he actually is, but doesn't really let on to start with. And this is Sam. Sam is played by Keenan Munn-Francis. And Nathan kind of sees his wallet lying on the floor, picks up his wallet, kind of pockets it, and of course now Nathan has got his address and everything like that, so he goes to the house the next day before he leaves for Scotland. He finds out that Sam is going on a little bit of a journey of his own up north towards Newcastle, so kind of underhandedly, slyly works his way in to get a trip to the train station where he's going to get his train. On the way, they strike up a little bit of a friendship here. Long story short, he ends up in the car with Sam and they are going to travel up north together, and it's going to be one of those movies where they kind of get to know each other a little bit. You as a viewer are not 100% certain why Sam is on his way to do what he's doing. You're not 100% certain as to what Nathan's ulterior motives here may be, because is he a wrong and is he a good guy? We're not 100% certain. But one thing is sure, they both have some issues. They're both trying to deal with things within themselves, and now they are both in this car, this very personal, closed space, a car on the way north, and let's just see what happens. I don't really want to say too much else about the plot. Let's just move into the cast and crew. First up, I want to talk about Sam, Keenan Munn-Francis. This is a super mega powerful actor. This kid is saying so much while saying so little. You kind of don't really know why he's heading to Newcastle. He's told you that he's going to drop something off at his mum's. However, he's driving his mum's car. Is it the car he's dropping off? We don't really know, and we're only going to be drip-fed little bits and pieces, but we do know he has a little bit of an eating disorder, so there's something going on there. He doesn't really want to let Nathan know about this because he's not going to let Nathan in, because Nathan's a bit of a gobshite, let's be honest. Without knowing what this kid was going through, I felt so much about what he was going through. I felt so much about the situation he was in. And I loved this performance. I just thought it was so nuanced, so layered. And then when you do find out, when you get that moment, holy shit, have they not earned your tears? Have they not earned that massive lump in your throat? Next to him is Nathan, played by Jamie Flatters. And I take nothing away from Jamie Flatters whatsoever, because again, another solid performance. Two kind of characters and two different personalities that really should not mesh, really should not go together. Nathan's outgoing, he's outspoken, he's confident, he's suave, he's kind of doing all these different things, and he's trying to break Sam out of this shell, because Sam's a little bit of a square, if you will. From the word one that we meet Nathan, you can tell there's a lot here, and he has this relationship with actress Ruby Stokes, who plays Layla, and this relationship is clearly not what she thinks it is. He is basically looking for his next attempt to run away and to escape, because he's waiting for people to just kick him out anyway. Jamie Flatters is also a writer on this. I would be interested in knowing from Jamie where this story kind of came from. My life kind of echoes this movie a little bit, which is maybe why it touched me as much as it did. But I thought Jamie Flatters nailed the writing aspect of the Nathan character, which is why he plays it so effortlessly well. I'd love to know where that came from. But both these kids, Keenan, Munn-Francis, Jamie Flatters, nail it. You know, when they're not supposed to get on, they don't get on. When they are supposed to get on, they do get on. When they're having a moment of just sheer clarity between one another, it's palpable on the screen. The chemistry is unreal. And of course, you have some rounding out characters. So Paul Kaye plays a little role at the start. Would have been nice to see Paul Kaye a little bit more, but he kind of serves his purpose to set Nathan on his path. Nicholas Pinnock, who I've been a fan of Nicholas Pinnock for a good long time. I love it when he turns up in these movies, and he is playing Keenan Munn-Francis, Sam's dad. He plays that role. And again, it just adds another layer to what is Sam actually going through, because you don't really get much from his dad either. There's not really many other big characters in the movie. They're mostly just people that they bump into on the way and sort of have little interactions with, but they're all cast pretty perfectly. And one last thing on the cast and crew is Jacques, the director of this movie. This is the kind of movie that, if done incorrectly, you're going to lose me right away, and I'm going to call bullshit, because I know these characters. I've lived with these characters. I've met these characters. I know this story. Jacques, not a problem. The way he's dealt with this movie and the way they tell this story, the lingering shots from outside the car looking in as Nathan leans against the window, absolutely incredible. The shots on the beach with the boys kind of jumping through the sea and kind of throwing each other around, absolutely brilliant. Just nice, intimate moments that really get you stuck into this story and realize the portrayal that is going on here. The moments when Nathan gets out the car and goes for a pee, and it turns out that they've hit a dog on the road, and Sam is in the background. He's kind of blurred, but you can see him there. Nathan's talking to him, and it's just like this moment of, what is Sam doing here? And then you find out what's happened. Moments like that you realize that this director knows exactly where he is. He's in his bag. This is his sandpit, and these characters are his people, and he's going to treat them well, with respect, and he's going to get them to the end of this movie by hook or by crook. I loved that. I absolutely loved the way Jacques dealt with this movie. And the dialogue, as I say, co-wrote with Jamie Flatters, the dialogue's just sensational. And when you get to that scene, I feel like scenes like this, where the two boys really hit a moment with each other, I feel like when you get to scenes like this, every so often in movies, those moments are over-egged. The soundtrack or the score is far too overpowering, because maybe the actors aren't quite getting that emotion across, so we need the music behind them. This movie, it needed the simplest little touches, and you get that from Jacques as a director. You get that from the cinematographer. Damn sure get that from Jamie Flatters and Keenan Munn-Francis. Just, they earned every moment of me being Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar, you know, and he's sitting watching the TV. That was me watching this movie, and they earned it. They completely earned it. Completely pulled the rug from under me and earned every second of pathos that I got from this film. I feel like I should probably just skip my what I did and didn't like, because I've kind of already dealt with that. One thing that I wasn't too keen on is the ending. Now, it's strange because it is a kind of perfect place to end your movie, but I kind of wanted to know what happened with Nathan and Sam next. They'd got friendly by the end of the movie. They'd become what you would call friends, and then sort of like I needed a little bit more to cap that off. I do like the closing credits when there's like just a car driving down the road on the way back down past Anik. By the way, the fact that he went onto his Google Maps and typed in Anik, I don't often get to see. As a kid who lives in Berwick, which is like 40 minutes away from Anik, 20 minutes away from Anik, I don't really get to see movies that actually name drop Anik in anything. So it was cool to see that. It was really nice to see that. And we got to see the Angel of the North. So yeah. But yeah, no, music by Blair Mowat, cinematography by Hamish Anderson, editing by Caitlin Spiller. Like, these three people need to be honed in on a little bit more in this review, because all three of them are doing spot on perfect jobs, and they just accentuate absolutely everything that is on the screen. Makes you not really know where to look, because everything is just working, popping, and looking amazing. So I might as well just move into my Nerdly Out Loud rating. And honestly, I'm going to give this movie a 5. I did say that it's not perfect, and there are moments that I feel like you maybe could have slowed this down a little bit, or moments where you maybe could have cut this scene short a little bit. There is one story, it's a bit of a through line, that it's more to service the relationship they're about to have, the relationship that they are about to encounter. And then when you kind of get to any moment of pathos with Sam, mostly, yes, that story actually does make sense. It pays off in that way. It pays off as to why he is acting the way he is acting. So you couldn't drop it. It just felt like a story that I was kind of just like, okay, that's interesting. This is interesting. What you're doing with it, and let's just do it quicker so we can crack on with the movie. Again, it's not a gripe. It's not a nitpick. It is just something that I thought, but at the end of the day, I feel like left in, taken out, it's 6 2/3. It is what it is. When it comes to the movie as a whole, when it comes to the story, the dialogue, the characters, the writing, the acting, editing, cinematography, the score, yeah, it's pretty much as perfect as you can get for a movie that is sitting on a pretty low budget. And I do tend to think that this was probably a low budget movie. It definitely was a low budget movie, but it doesn't look like one, it doesn't feel like one, it doesn't play like one. And that's why, for me, I think George Jaques as a director has done a wonderful job. He's done a brilliant job, and I want to give Black Dog a 5 out of 5. So please do me a favor, check out the movie. The movie has been released. I believe it was on the 19th of August this movie came out. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it on Apple TV. I feel like if you're a fan of those coming of age movies like The Breakfast Club, Stand By Me, things like that, movies like that, you are really going to get a bit of enjoyment out of this. You're going to get a kick. Yes, it might make you feel a certain kind of way. It might bring up some emotions or whatnot, but every now and then you've got to deal with these things, and this movie is a perfect way of showing that. And I just feel like these two characters, who couldn't be any more different from any more opposite sides of the tracks, I feel like they've just nailed it. And that's Keenan Munn-Francis, and that's Jamie Flatt as Sam and Nathan, absolutely destroying it and just being such prolific young actors in this movie that I can't wait to see what they do next. I'm kind of just gassing it up now, and I'm just sort of, licking the film's booty. But you know what? I don't care, because I felt something when I watched this movie, and it was something that I don't really think I felt in a movie this year. I've had movies over the years that have done this to me, but not very often do I get these movies. And this one was 100% one of those movies. So I needed to shout it out to the rooftops. I need everybody to go and check it out. And once you have checked it out, come back to the channel. Let me know what you thought. Please do let me know what you thought. Hit me in the comments below, whether it's, I'm wrong or I'm right or whatever. Again, if you're just having your tea and you want to let me know you had mushy peas with it, because mushy peas are epic, then do that as well. My name's been Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for your news, reviews and exclusive interviews. Please do go over to the website, check out all the reviews over there. There's loads of stuff happening. Most of all, though, do me a favour, support independent film, support your local cinema, get out there and do all that good stuff. Check out Black Dog on streaming sites, streaming services, and everything like that. Apple TV, Amazon. Check it out. Let me know what you thought. And George, Jaques, Jamie Flatters, Keenan, Munn-Francis, I'm watching you now. I'm watching what you do next because you really, really impressed me with this movie, and I want to see what you do next. 5 out of 5, and I'm gone.